Yo, you wanna know something crazy? Last time when RELL released movie 1 was 9 months ago. Between now and then, I got a whole girlfriend and finished high school before movie 2 released. Like deadass, I completed 2 big achievements in my life before the first movie 2 came out. Anyways though, I'm not here to rant about that. We're here today to discuss the 3 biggest things you should take away from movie 2. So let's get into it. So, after all that wait, you would think that movie 2 was gonna be lit, right? It was gonna be the final selling point that RELL is the game of the century, and that we should all be praising the RELL Bros for creating the greatest One Piece game on the platform. Except, that movie was hella underwhelming. It was almost equal to Pacific Rim Uprising, as in the first movie was really cool in some parts, but it was just okay, and the second one was just borderline forgettable. It was like hyping up for the final battle against Madara only to get Kaguya instead. It was not all that. Now, did the RELL movie 2 have its good moments? Yeah, of course it did, and to be honest, the whole second half of the movie was really good. It was like Goku finally going Super Saiyan after getting bodied for the first half of the fight. But that slow start with the iffy tutorial and the Jack Sparrow wannabe voice was not it, and it was a rough way to start a long-awaited movie. But it's okay, because we did get some good content at the end and a lot to discuss, so I'm grateful for that. Anyways, let's get into the main point of this video here. I got 3 things that I believe every RELL enthusiast like me needs to take away from this video, including the potential meta for combat, more details about the marine system and theories, and lastly some nice delicious Haki discussions, so stay tuned for that. With the release of movie 2, you already know I'm gonna be feasting on this one like a Luffy at the buffet. So, since we're just skipping the first half of mid, let's talk about the first thing I want to bring up, the combat and my personal pick on the meta for the beginning phase of RELL. Picture this, a battlefield where nobody has Haki or any crazy delve routes yet, and it's just straight hands. It's like watching the Chunin exams before anybody busts out their secret jutsu, and it was just pure taijutsu. It was sort of minor compared to the rest of the movie, but there was a part where the RELL Bros went over abilities and combat skills. Y'all saw the same vid I did, so I'm not going to run through the whole thing again, but what caught my eye was the fierce and agile section of the showcase. I saw all those skills you had, and in my head, I was immediately brewing up some combos on some Aizen type timing. Some personal picks I saw was M1 God and Dash God, which are both combo extenders. M1 God is an instant TP up tilt when you land the final punch to your combo, and the Dash God changes your punches and front dash to an up tilt. So if this plays out how it says it does, then that's going to be a crazy combination. Even if these abilities can't be used one after another like I think they can, it's still a really good move that you know I will be spamming as soon as I unlock them. Piecing up anybody and everybody that steps up to me and my crew, it's going to be like Rock Lee dropping his weights, but every single time. Another couple picks I have for the potential meta is the Ronaldo slide skill and the Paragon. If you don't know what these are, I don't blame you because they went by pretty fast in the video. But basically the Ronaldo slide could be useful because if you land it, it's a free M1 combo because the player will become stunned, leading you to make the first move. It's like landing Minato's Flying Raijin, giving you the first punch, setting up for a devastating follow-up. The only drawback is the fact that some players might have Geppo or any airwalk ability, pretty much negating the skill unless you can somehow use it in the air and hit them with it. As for the Paragon, aka the Sharingan, all it does is give you a few more milliseconds for your parry window, allowing you to have a higher chance of parrying a move compared to the base player. It's like having your own personal Ultra Instinct, but for parrying. Now, although this seems small, I'd argue that the Paragon is going to be a top 3 tactic skill in the game. It low-key might just become one of those base tactic skills, kind of like a go-to option for that ability slot. Everybody will probably use this skill in most character builds, because if you're fighting somebody with this ability and they keep parrying you, you'll want to switch to the skill so you can match their parrying with your own increased chance of parry. And then once that starts happening, people will just start making the Paragon almost an auto-lock because everybody else will be using it. It's going to spread pretty fast, which is why I'm calling it a potential meta skill. Could be wrong though, we'll see. My last pick for a meta skill is going to be the strong tilt, because if you read it right here, it says that your down tilt punch gives you the ability to do a full M1 combo without having to block break a player, which just sounds broken to me. Not because the skill itself is crazy OP, but because the skill is classified as an agile ability, which means you can run this ability with other things like God M1. And if you can use these skills back to back, that just sounds dangerous to me, and I will most definitely be using these skills if it does indeed play out like that. It's like combining Naruto's Rasengan with Sasuke's Ichidori. It's just completely broken. But yeah, I really love what the RELL Bros did with the combat and what they showcased in the movie. It already seems super fleshed out and has a possibility to be very enjoyable. And just picture it, all those new fresh RELL players running around battling with no Devil Fruit or Haki yet. Just straight hands and combos like Ninja from the Hidden Leaf Village. I can't wait for the day to come because you know me and my crew are going to be all over that like the Straw Hats conquering a new island. Alright, next up is the second thing I want you guys to take away from the movie. We gotta discuss a small but low-key kinda big info drop we got about the marine system in RELL. If you look at the video in face value, there's barely any mention of the marines in this movie. But in the small part that they did mention it, it gave us a lot to discuss. Because all they had to do was drop one line and my brain flooded with possibilities on what that line could represent. It's like when Oda drops a single panel that changes the whole One Piece theory landscape except for Marines. Now, we know there's going to be a CC for the Marines, and that if you want to get promoted to the higher ranks, I believe you have to get promoted via the CC story. I kinda hope it's not the only way to achieve high ranks in RELL. I mean, it would be cool to have that for roleplay, but for the RPG part, I want to be able to rank up through quests and not just CC content. But anyways, the sentence the ROBLOX mentioned that got me thinking was,
both in closed communities and RPG high-ranking marine officials will be able to operate the elevator system.
Now, at face value, the sentence doesn't mean shit, but you have to look at it on a deeper level. I might be reaching here, but I believe this confirms either two things, and I'm hoping it's the latter of the two. First up, it confirms that there is a possibility to achieve a high-ranking marine rank via closed community and RPG events, which basically means we don't have to be in the closed community to experience the RELL game as a marine admiral. Like they said in both the CC and RPG, high ranks can operate the elevator. Hopefully, this means that there might be a quest or certain ways to rank up as a marine that doesn't involve direct contact with the closed community. This is important to me because I'm trying to be a marine, and I feel like my content and gameplay enjoyment expands tenfold if I can have some sort of admiral or something without having to try hard in the closed community. The second thing this might confirm is that becoming an admiral through the closed community roleplay transfers over to the RPG part of the game too. So, their perks of being an admiral in the closed community can be used in the RPG public game as well. This would basically mean you can only become an admiral through the CC, and there's no special quest in the RPG to do this. This is also the most likely option. They also said Marines can capture and escort NPC players from their cells. This is another form of immersion that the ROBLOX are confirming for us, but I actually have a few questions on what this sentence actually means. Does this mean that we will be escorting NPC AI around the cells, or are they just calling them players in this sentence, but they are not actual players? Or does this mean that we can escort NPCs and players around their cells, which does make a bit more sense? I don't know why I'm so stuck on this. The wording of the sentence is just really throwing me off. But if it's the second option, that would be really cool. Like, just imagine escorting around some pirate warlord to his execution, or maybe a powerful Devil Fruit player. The roleplay and One Piece vibes would be insane from this. It'd be like recreating Ace's escort to Marineford, but you're on the marine side this time. Also, just look at these prison maps and potentially marine bases. Like, this is what marine gameplay should look like in a One Piece game. I can't wait for the entire armies of marines with Devil Fruits, Haki, and more just walking around patrolling the cells before going out and capturing pirates. It's gonna be like Impel Down, but we're the guards instead of the intruders this time. But yeah, super hyped that we potentially got more confirmed marine content, and I'm really glad the ROBLOX are fleshing out this side of the game as much as they are. You rarely see effort like this from Roblox devs, and if this game plays out like it's being promised, this will be Roblox Game of the Year and possibly years if it continues to stay on track. Alright, next up we got the best part of the entire movie, the third thing I want to bring up, and honestly the main thing that saved the movie from being a complete snooze fest. Next up we got Haki and all those beautiful sneaks we received throughout the movie. We saw so much during this video, including Conqueror's Haki, Armament Haki, and more. This may be a hot take, but low-key my favorite Haki sneak wasn't even the Conqueror's Haki, but the customization sneak that we got. I absolutely love that we get to customize our Haki as much as we want. It really adds individualism to our builds and makes each character actually feel unique. It's like creating your own stand in those JoJo Bizarre Adventure games. Secondly, I had a fat smile on my face when the ROBLOX said that unlocking Haki isn't the same for every player, and that each player has some sort of randomized requirement to achieve certain Hakis. This is like the dream way they could have done Haki in RELL, and everyone since the beginning of RELL was making theory videos on how to unlock Haki in this game, and I'm glad the ROBLOX took the most unique approach. No beating Yetis 100 times, no buying Haki from some random Haki trainer, and from the looks of it, we're going to be getting unique events, quests, requirements to unlock one of the core gameplay features of RELL Seas. If this plays out how I want it to, I would make new builds in the game just to see all the unique ways to get Haki as a player. And also so I could make some videos on it, but that's just because I'm a content creator. It's like everyone in Hunter x Hunter developing their own personal nan ability. Each journey to power is going to be mad different. Anyways, let's talk about Conqueror's Haki now. We saw a lot of sneaks on the coveted Conqueror's Haki, aka Shank's insta-win ability. We saw that certain Conqueror's Haki is named after famous figures in real life and fiction, such as Caesar, Genghis Khan, and Godzilla. Now, I didn't know this, but I just found out recently that it does say what each Conqueror Haki ability does. And let me tell y'all, some of these sound really weak. Like, picking the meta for the Conqueror's Haki is relatively easy. I am 90% positive that some of these cards are either going to be getting a buff or a debuff when the game releases because they don't seem balanced at all. For example, the Xanda D Go ability literally infuses Conqueror's Haki into your combat. Basically, advanced Conqueror's Haki. Meaning you will likely do a lot more damage with this ability, which seems really good compared to the other abilities such as Napoleon. The Napoleon card basically increases your speed for 10 seconds. Which if you ask me seems relatively weak compared to the other one. If they were given the option, most people would pick increased strength for, as of right now, an indefinite time over increased speed for 10 seconds. Like, this is a Conqueror's Haki ability. This sounds really underwhelming, and there's a few like this. So, for this last takeaway on Conqueror's Haki, I would say that the male ability is likely going to be Xanda D Go. However, I don't remember if they said the exact way of obtaining Conqueror's Haki, so maybe it's RNG, and when you do get the ability, it's just random and you'll be lucky if you get the Xanda D Go one, or you get the Napoleon. I don't know, it seems interesting and all the abilities sound cool by themselves, it's just when you throw the Conqueror's Haki name on it, it sounds relatively weak and underwhelming. But we'll see, maybe I'm wrong and Napoleon ability is meta. But yeah, that's the 3 things you need to know about the RELL Seas movie 2. I know it's been a while since my last post and that's my bad. I'm getting back on track with YouTube stuff, especially since I'm monetized now, so expect more uploads. I've been training in the hyperbolic time chamber and I'm ready to come back out to uploading. Anyways, make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content and join the Discord down below. That's all today. Peace.